Hello again, everyone. This is Game Collector here with Transformers Prime Voyager class and/or Powerizer Megatron. And yes, he is a big old jet. A Cybertronian jet, mind you, but a jet nonetheless. And you can activate his gimmick in his vehicle mode. It doesn't show up that well, though. I'll use this more in robot mode because you can do a few cool things with it. And unlike Optimus Prime's, this one isn't as broken and or busted, nor does it need any modification, as you may have seen in my figure fix-up patch video. And do not worry, if I get any more of these things, chances are I will be doing more videos to show how to mod them. But in the meantime, and this is a pretty accurate more accurate than even the little mini one, but even that's accurate. This is pretty accurate version of his alt mode from the TV series. TV series. I almost said show and series at the same time. And it's not that hard to transform. It is a little bit complicated to get from robot to vehicle and back and forth and so forth. But the even the commander class there are some things carried over. And I have heard so many complaints. Oh, it looks like a giant chunk of kibble. Yes, you can see robot parts on the underside, and it looks too much like Movie-Megatron. You really want a comparison between that and Movie-Megatron? Fine! Wow, I don't even think he'll be able to fit, but this is the giant flying chunk of kibble called Movie-Megatron from the first Transformers movie. I know, wow. If Prime Megatron reminds you of this, then apparently you don't know what the hell you're looking at. Look at all that frickin' kibble. Yeah, this is nothing like that thing that was just there. Now, with that little comparison out of the way, just to get that gripe out of there, to get to robot, and this is not at all as complicated as that thing that I just discarded. You fold in the little wingtips there, and, well, first of all, you also want to remove this, because that makes things a heck of a lot easier. Remove those. And you fold these out a bit, and then you untab them and just fold them down. Everything else gets easier from here. You take what will be his shoulder pads, fold those back, and fold this up and around. This purple thing will be folded up later. Now, let's see. You rotate what will become his waist at about 90 degrees, and now you can take care of the legs the rest of the way. Fold that out, and so you can fold these up. And yes, they peg in properly. And then just fold the feet. Or you can fold the feet out first. I personally prefer folding the feet out after you take care of the leg, because that makes it easier. And now he has legs. And nothing to do with them. So you open his chest partially so you can fold his legs out the rest of the way. Let me angle the camera up. And you can fold those up like so. And then disconnect the arms, which isn't that difficult, and then unpeg them and spread them out. Push the chest pieces into place, and then the arms actually tab in. Yeah, that thick tab right there will plug into that rectangular hole there, and that's on both sides. So those tab in. You take that skirt armor up and push it into his chest. You rotate the shoulder pads around and push them in. And of course, you rotate the arms and flip out the hands. And now you can actually place the shoulder pads in a couple of different forms. You can just raise them up and push them down, or kind of angle them and push them down to make them a little bit more screen accurate. Now, the downside of making him look screen accurate is it kind of hinders his shoulder. It hinders his shoulders a lot. Let alone the shoulder pads just hinder his shoulders a lot regardless. And now here he is in his robot mode. Okay, and if you're going to be a completionist here, you fold that up. But I'm going to keep it down for now because there's a nice little trick you can do with his gimmick cannon. So again, these kind of hinder his shoulders a bit, which are on ball joints, but to get the full range of motion, you can just raise them up and then put them back down or whatever. And he has a full range ball joint. He has standard elbow and a kind of a swivel right there, which is due in part to transformation, but it does help in posability. He has ball-jointed hips, a thigh swivel, and a single-joint knee, and due in part to transformation, he has the little ankle right there. Now, with his gun, which actually splits into his fusion cannon and a little claw you can put on either hand. But you secure it in his hand first. I'll just show that again. You secure the little holding bar into his hand and then fold over and peg it into his wrist. And now he has this four-bladed wrist gauntlet claw thing. And you actually can get his sword out without having to hold that button in place the whole time. And you might have to pull back on the button a bit to make it stick. But there you go. And no, this does not grind the gears any. So now you can give him his arm blade sword thing. I do like the ARMS Micron version better. It looks more screen accurate and doesn't have the big bulk of that plunger there. But if you want him to be all glowy and menacing, you push that in and it makes it look like he's firing a gun or his sword has a glow. But again, the coolest part of this isn't that. It is that, the light up gimmick. But you can peg it into his back for storage, and you can store both of his weapons on his back. It does make him a little back heavy, though. Though you can fix that. There are two. I'll show you that. But by pressing the button about halfway or so, or angling it just right. And you have to have the back flaps pressed straight against his back. You can make his chest or neck light up a little bit. And I just love this feature so much. It makes him look like he's being powered by Dark Energon or something. Now, the other way you can store his weapons, you fold that all the way up, and I'm going to say it's not nearly as secure. You fold it up like that, which unfortunately means his back panels are forced stuck out. But it does mean he's going to stand up a whole lot better without teetering back with it just sticking out. And he is overall a great figure. Both of his modes are pretty good. And if you say this thing looks like that giant chunk of kibble from the first movie, are you blind? They look nothing alike! It's a Cybertronian vehicle. What, does his tank mode in War for Cybertron look like a giant chunk of kibble just because it's Cybertronian? I'm getting off on a rant here. Deep breath, deep breath, deep breath. Anyway, with that little peeve out of the way, I'm going to bring up his box. I've had this guy for a while, and I haven't put the box in a good place, so it is a little banged up. I'm going to set him off to the side there. And the side box shows him with a melee weapon he doesn't actually have. Go figure. Just the back of the box has the hub logo sticker and just shows off the gimmicks. Which I've pretty much already shown you. And it appears as though they would have cast the gun and the little wrist blade into a more accurate colored plastic to go with him. And I really wish they did keep it the metallic plastic for whatever reason. Now on to the back. And his bio. Which I hope you can read, by the way. I'll just scroll down. And remember, if you've missed any of that, feel free to rewind and pause as much as you want. You're not missing much. And just like his Cyberverse card, it's the little it's the little image of him from their show. And I can't get over how they always have he's kind of just staring into space like he's hypnotized or something. And his stats, of course. Strength 10, Intelligence 9, Speed 8, Endurance 10, Rank 10, Courage 8, Fire Blaster Firepower 10, and Skill 6. His Cyberverse card was much more charitable with those stats. And, well, now we have him back here. And his eyes are piped purple. And, unfortunately, I don't have my light with me, so... This is the best you're going to get until I find my flashlight again. Sorry about that. And that's pretty much all he's a pretty basic figure. He's not bad, he's pretty good. Not super fantastic or anything special. But he's probably the best one of the best Megatrons we've seen in years. Heck, even the third movie, Megatron, was pretty good. But I still like this one better. So until next week, this has been Game Collector, and I will see you all later.